Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, the Eras Tour and Barbie movie are taking over. What a new report has to say about their impact on the economy.
Plus, it's the docu-series you have been waiting for. We are getting the first look at Depp v. Heard coming to Netflix next month.
Then we're chatting with comedian Kiki Young, the founder of award-winning comedy tour Crazy Woke Asians, where you can catch the live shows this weekend in Seattle and Tacoma.
And we're bringing a piece of Leavenworth right here to the studio. We're learning how to make some snow crab bisque with Mana Restaurant and showcasing the newly renovated Hotel Leavenworth. Studio 13 Live on a Friday starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hey there. Happy Friday, friends. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia, and I am so excited to lay very low this weekend after what was a very intense weekend last week.
I think everybody who went to the Taylor Swift concert is still recovering, but we're just gonna have the best weekend ever,
Yeah,
you know,
we are.
in our various ways. Everyone knows her smash hit, Call Me Maybe, but y'all don't miss out on her newer bop. So the most underrated pop queen, Carly Rae Jepsen, dropped a new album overnight ahead of performing at the Gorge this weekend. It is called The Loveliest Time, and it's available now. So this is the announcement post for the new album that she put on her Twitter, which is a follow-up to her last record, The Loneliest Time. And Carly Rae says she really got to know loneliness and discover the beauty in it. And that's part of the inspiration for her new album, which has 13 songs on it. And yeah, she's playing at the Gorge tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm going to go to the show. This is going to be my first show at the Gorge ever, and I can't wait.
So the little internal debate in the newsroom is how the Gorge is going to stack up against Red Rock, because we've both been to Red Rock.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to report back on the Gorge, because I haven't been there yet.
I'm excited. Yeah, I have high hopes for it because it's one of the most hyped up music venues ever, but I think it's going to be amazing. And yeah, I'm excited to see Carly Rae. You know, talking about her being underrated, it's crazy because even on New Music Friday on Spotify, which I listen to every day, so does Michelle, the director, shout out to her. She was the 26th song on there. Like, she just does not get the hype, and she's such a good artist. Even when this show was advertised, it's Boy Genius, and then Carly Rae's opening up for them. I didn't even know until I was about to buy the tickets for Boy Genius that Carly Rae is playing.
Really?
She does not get the love. If you love pop music, she works with so many of the same producers as like Taylor Swift and other great artists. Jack Antonoff works on her records. Give Carly Rae Jepsen a listen. Not just because her name is Carly. I know it might seem like I'm biased.
Well, that's
but
reason one.
Yeah.
But reason two is that she's really good. And in
Really good.
fact, you know, I really love her whole vibe. You know, I have a Peloton bike, and they have a whole Carly Rae class. And she even visited once.
What?
And it was so fun. She's just great vibes, you know?
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Good summer music.
Absolutely. All right, well, the economy runs on girl power. That is a headline from Axios on the success of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and the Barbie movie. Barbie Pink lives on, baby. Axios reporting that the two are really propping up a struggling economy at this point because people are prioritizing spending their cash on experiences over buying things, you know. So now we are waiting for the Beyonce effect as her Renaissance tour is getting underway in the U.S. You know, she's been on tour in Europe. And Queen Bee and the Beehive have had a similar effect on the European economy. So, I mean, are we going to be saved by concerts this year? I sure hope so.
I sure hope so. I would love it if that was the turn that everything took. I mean, it's true. Even just beyond the concert tickets, there's so many things because now it's not just a concert. It's a cultural moment. You know, we're making the friendship bracelets. We're all buying sparkly outfits. We both had our fair share of glitter at this concert.
Yes, we did.
You know, and it's so much fun just walking in the sea of a bunch of other, you know, fans of the same music as you. It's so fun. So I think this is great.
And if anything, I saw a lot of glittery cowboy moments at the Swift concert.
Yeah.
And I think the vibes also work for Beyonce. So you're almost saving money on your outfit, really.
There you go. It's a twofer. That outfit you want, it's a twofer. Listen to this. So Blink-182 fans are saying everybody needs to apologize to Tom DeLonge. Now, this is coming after a House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security held a hearing about aliens. And during that hearing, the committee heard multiple witness testimonies. You know, Tom left the group in 2015 to research aliens, and 2 years later, he co-founded a company that was focused on researching the extraterrestrial space. That company even received a shout out during the testimony at the House committee hearing. We totally made him a punchline. Like, culturally, that was the punchline. Oh, Tom DeLonge and his aliens, but now everybody's talking about it.
This is so weird for me. The weirdest part, though, is actually the non-reaction from the public. And all over social media, I'm seeing the whole, like, we've confirmed aliens exist, but milk's $1 million and so is gasoline, so whatever, you know?
Yeah, people are more concerned with what's happening here on Earth and what's happening in the sky. It is, I also feel like it says a lot about the amount of conspiracy theories that are just floating around in general now, and just the amount of like news and information that we are forced to process every single day, that when, you know, we find out maybe there are aliens, we're just like, okay, let's make a meme about it and keep it moving here.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's happening, but I guess apparently, maybe they'll call us, maybe.
The aliens?
Carly Rae reference.
Me or Carly Rae?
If you got to explain it, it probably wasn't that funny. Sorry. All right, so it was the Hollywood trial that captivated people around the world, and now it's getting a Netflix treatment. The first trailer for a new documentary on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, The Trial. Yeah, that's been released. It's called Depp v. Heard, and it dives into the defamation trial that Netflix is calling the first trial by TikTok. The docu-series hitting Netflix August 17th. And you know, I wasn't particularly interested in following this trial as closely as I ended up following it because it was all over social media.
Yeah, I wasn't one of the people that, you know, streamed the dozens of hours of testimonies and that sort of thing. But the sort of pop culture side effect and all of the memes and all of the reaction videos that came out of this were really fascinating. And I watched the trailer for this morning, and it does look really good. So I feel like I'm hoping this will give me the condensed version and the highlights and the cultural impact without having to watch, you know, all those dozens and dozens of hours of the actual live trial. There was a lot of wild things that happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of wild things that happened, but the thing that I really didn't like was that all the content that you saw surrounding this was really layered with a lot of heavy personal opinion, you know, really invested in making one person fully the villain and one person fully the victim. And from the testimony that I saw, that was not what I got from the experts on this particular trial. So I'm very interested to see where the documentary lands.
Yeah, well, something else people are watching, you know, while Barbie continues to make bank at the box office, the hottest movie ticket appears to be for Oppenheimer. So director Christopher Nolan filmed Oppenheimer in giant 70mm reels for IMAX. It is only being shown in this format in certain cities, and people are now cashing in on those sold out shows. So tickets are reselling for more than $250 a piece. Yeah, some fans are even posting wanted ads for the sold out showings. I gotta be honest, I'm not a cinephile, but I cannot tell the difference between a digital and a film screening.
So here's the thing. I would not describe myself as cinephile, but I can, and I don't think it's worth the cost.
The $250?
You know, I don't think it's worth the cost. But you know, we had the mega poll just a few minutes back here on Good Day Seattle, and Oppenheimer in our area won. And I'd been seeing maps like that where the Barbie movie is very popular in parts of the country, but Washingtonians, they like their Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I mean, not this one, but you know,
some
of them. So how about this hot topic? A restaurant manager has gotten himself in some hot water after not allowing their employees to have phones at work, like at all. An employee actually posting this on Reddit saying that they are required to turn in their phones before starting their shifts. This post, of course, went viral, with many people saying the manager's just crossing some lines here. One Reddit user wrote that they would never comply with this kind of rule, even if it came from their mom. Okay, those are big words. Another said that they wouldn't give up their phone unless the phone had been paid for by the company. And I'm inclined to agree with that last one.
Yeah, I would not give someone else my phone to hang on to. I might put it in a locker and they could see me put it in the locker or leave it in a safe space that of my choosing, but I'm not giving someone my phone. They could go through your phone.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to have a job, maybe you do have to follow the rule.
It is very interesting to me, though, because, something that is really frustrating to me and always has been is this idea where we like to infantilize people in certain jobs. And this happens a lot, especially in the service industry, where we see a lot of managers who like to treat their employees like they're little children. And, you might do that if you're like, let's say you're an educator and there is a child distracted by a phone and you take away the phone and then the parent has to come pick it up and it's a whole thing. But you're doing these to grown people and that feels so disrespectful to me.
Yeah, it does. Also, I've been a server. You barely have time to check your phone. Yeah. So if you need to, if anything, it's a really quick text in between things, but you are on your feet and you are busy. So maybe just let these people live their lives, okay? Unless they break the rules. We've all heard of procrastinating. What about procrastinating? Uh-oh, are we going to get shamed for something else here?
I think we might be.
All right, it's when you finish a task as quickly as possible, even if that means going out of your way to get it done, and then the quality takes a hit. So scientists tried to figure out what leads to certain people doing this. Basically, people like to make up their minds as soon as possible and not rethink their options, so they have a clear mind. A recent survey showed that the most common group of people who are precrastinating are former procrastinators, interesting, who say that it's not ideal, but it definitely beats a last-minute race to the finish line. Are you a procrastinator?
I don't know. I feel like, that is a really, really tough one because I feel like I procrastinate to a certain degree because I kind of know how long it takes me to do things.
Yeah.
Now. But I definitely have grown into the person that says that perfect is the enemy of good.
Yeah, and done is better than perfect.
Yep.
But also it's like, what kind of suffering do you want? Do you want the suffering of just thinking about the task until you do it? Or do you want the suffering where you do it really quick, but then you have to redo it because you didn't do it right? I like to just do it right the first time,
Yeah.
All right, still to come on Studio 13 Live. Parents are paying thousands of dollars for sorority coaching. Yep, you heard that right. How these coaches prepare girls for their college sororities.
Interesting. Plus, Bronny James is at home recovering following that cardiac arrest earlier this week. We are hearing how first responders reacted when that 911 call came in.
It's happening.
I think you and I really like a cool pair of shoes, I would say.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, get this. Apple, like the tech company, Apple brand shoes from the 90s, they are on sale for a very big price. So Apple made shoes specifically for their employees, but they never were sold to the public. And now this specific pair is on sale for $50K. Wow. The shoes are a size 10.5. They feature Apple's old rainbow logo, and the selling company says the sneakers are actually one of the most obscure and sought after products on the resale market. Girl, what?
Those look like a crossover between like Grandpa's shoes and Air Force Ones. Don't they?
I think that's very in for the Gen Zers right now.
I guess so. This story makes me want to be a hoarder because who knew you could get tens of thousands of dollars for stuff?
Yeah.
But who's paying that?
It's so hard. I just finished reading this book, Nobody Wants Your Stuff When You're Dead. And so I've been like getting rid of a lot of stuff, but I mean, obviously you make bank if you hold on to the right thing.
But I feel like it happens very rarely, so maybe don't be a hoarder. All right. A new trend has parents spending thousands of dollars to help their daughters get into a college sorority. So according to the Wall Street Journal, companies around the country are offering various forms of coaching consultants to teach girls how to get into a sorority. And the price can range from a few hundred to more than $4,000. Now, coaches can teach them how to look someone in the eye, how to write essays, and prep for rush week. They say that the tips won't just help them out in college, but also in life in general. Were you in Greek life?
I was not. No, were you?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I went to school in Missouri, though. I went out of state, and I was surprised how big it was there. But in Missouri, I feel like it's Midwest, but it has a lot of Southern culture. So yeah, the sororities were really big there. I mean, look, I'm a big believer in like hard work and intentionality and practicing to reach your goals. So if your goal is to join a sorority, I guess there's coaches that are going to help you do it, right?
Yeah, I guess this doesn't really resonate with me because I think that you and I both have a personality where we really like to put ourselves out there and are comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this does not resonate with me. But if I really take a step back and think about people that really struggle with this, you know, whether it's for a sorority or just in life, I know there's career coaches that do very similar things as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting. All right. Well, a new report says that the average American spends about $150 a month on impulse buys. So there's some good news though, okay? So that's actually down from $315 a year ago. The main reason for the spending cut is, of course, inflation and only shopping when things are on sale. You know, household items, shoes, food, toys, those are some of the most common spur-of-the-moment buys. Are you an impulse shopper?
Not at all.
Really?
The only impulse buy I'm gonna buy is like a sweet treat. If I'm somewhere and there looks like a yummy cookie or something, I'll buy that. I deliberate over my purchases so much because I get so mad at myself if I buy something that I don't use often that I really have to think about it. But it's kind of too much. It's almost to the point where, like, for example, there's a paddleboard accessory that I need to buy right now, a dry bag. This is literally the bag you put everything in that keeps your stuff dry when you're on the paddleboard. You should probably get this like week one of having one, right? I've been doing this for months now, and they're like $15, $20, but I'm like, I gotta get the perfect size. I gotta get the perfect color that's gonna match my paddleboard. It is so dumb, yet I will buy a sandwich for $15 and eat it and forget about it like an hour later. I am not an impulse shopper.
I kind of love this about you. I did not know this, and it is quite wild. Get the bag, girl.
I know.
Get the bag.
I know. And those, yeah, it's a whole thing.
All right, still ahead, we have comedian and actress Kiki Young. She's joining us in studio. A look at her award-winning comedy group, Crazy Woke Asians, and her new comedy special being taped right here in Seattle, where she grew up. It's time to take a look at what is poppin' in celebrity news.
For that, we're bringing in TMZ senior producer Charlie Neff. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, how's it going today? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm loving the yellow shirt.
Thank you.
This situation with Ariana Grande, her new boyfriend, and his soon-to-be ex-wife, this keeps getting more and more complicated. What is happening with the story today?
Ooh, I know. So it is getting crazy. But basically, we're being told that Ethan Slater, which is Ariana Grande's new boyfriend, they had met on the set of Wicked. We're told that he wants to be a part of his child's life. And this is all amid his divorce with Lily J. So this is kind of messy. Basically, we know that Ariana and Ethan, people around them say that they recently started dating. Ariana is going through a divorce with her husband, Dalton Gomez, and Ethan just filed divorce from his wife, Lily J, on Wednesday. So we're told that things with Ethan and his estranged wife, Lily, you know, they're trying to work things out right now because they do have a very young child who's just almost about 1 year old. And we're told that Ethan, you know, despite what he's going through with his estranged wife, he does really want to be in the son's life. In fact, he talks to Lily every single day about his son, about, you know, custody with his son. And that he has actually been seeing his son in London where he had been filming Wicked. So he has been trying to work that out. And we're told that even at one point, Lily was going to be releasing a statement basically talking about how she's open and wanting to co-parent with him. However, for some reason, she decided not to put out that statement. So it's unclear exactly where she's at as far as co-parenting with Ethan. But we know from sources around Lily that she feels blindsided by this new romance. She feels heartbroken and feels like her family has been just totally bulldozed and torn apart because of this new romance. So it doesn't look too good, but hopefully everybody can work it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How do you feel like Ariana's fans are reacting to this? Do you have any insight on that?
You know, a lot of fans are called the Arianators. A lot of the fans online don't seem too happy with this. They're not too happy because of him mostly, but I think overall fans want Ariana to be happy. But I don't know if people are feeling this. They're feeling like it's going to be a thank you next situation where maybe she's with him and then dumps him and moves on to the next best thing. We know that Ariana has been engaged in the past. She was engaged to Pete Davidson and that didn't work out. But look, we'll see. We'll definitely keep you up on all the updates for this love triangle.
Okay, so let's very quickly talk about Bronny James at home now recovering after experiencing that horrifying cardiac arrest earlier this week. I know that the 911 calls have been released to TMZ, so walk us through them.
Yeah, it really paints a picture as to the seriousness of the situation. Obviously, this had happened at basketball practice, and one of the 911 calls says, "Get an ambulance here immediately." So just you can tell by just what's being said that this was a very kind of like a panicked situation. And we know that Bronny was actually unconscious during the time of the call was placed. But as you kind of said, he is recovering. LeBron had put out a statement basically saying that he is recovering. He's at home. He's been discharged from the hospital. And doctors have confirmed that it was a sudden cardiac arrest. So, hopefully we can see him back on the basketball court sooner than later. But yeah, very scary incident. And, hopefully we'll see him get better through his health journey.
Yeah, thank you so much for that update, Charlie. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Sounds good. I'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, bye. And don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13, weekdays at 7 p.m. And hey, coming up on Studio 13 Live, parents, do you spend more time with your phone or your kids? Think about that, because we're going to be sharing the results of a new survey that might surprise you.
But first, we're sitting down with comedian and actress Kiki Young. A look at her live comedy special taping in Capitol Hill this weekend. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Comedian and actress Kiki Young's uplifting the AAPI community with her stand-up comedy. Her award-winning group, Crazy Woke Asians, is touring around the country, and it's making stops in Seattle and Tacoma this weekend.
Yeah, and on top of that, she is filming her new comedy special in Capitol Hill on Sunday. And here to share all about it is Kiki Young herself. Hello!
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
You guys forgot to tell me to wear pink shoes.
I know.
You look so
But
cute.
white is good too. It kind of goes.
It goes.
We go together. Okay. So, Kiki, you were born in Hong Kong, then you grew up in Bothell. You graduated from UW. Welcome home.
Yay, thank you.
This is so exciting. So, tell us, were you always drawn to comedy growing up?
Yes, so I was born in Hong Kong. So growing up in Hong Kong, I watched a lot of Hong Kong movies like Stephen Chow. You can see the Kung Fu Hustle. And, yeah, so I think Hong Kong people naturally witty, good with comebacks, you're right? So
Yeah.
And I love Whoopi Goldberg, and I watched a lot of American movies growing up. My dad loved movies, so I love comedy. And after I gave birth to my son, I was like, I need a new challenge.
Yeah. It's not hard enough
Another
already.
one.
Moms can do it all, right?
So you went for it?
Yeah, so I took a class and I got hooked. And I was like, wow, this is great. I can talk and people listen to me.
Yeah. Seems like an addicting feeling. Okay, so not only are you a comedian actress, you also founded Crazy Woke Asians. This is an award-winning comedy show that's now touring nationally. Tell us kind of about what inspired you to start this group and how you wanted to go deeper with it.
So 2018, so when I started, I went to a lot of shows and open mics, and I met these amazing, very funny Asian comedians, but we're never on a show together.
Yeah.
And I was like, how come there are not as many Asian comedians in shows in LA as I want them to be?
Yeah.
So I was like, I have a theater background. I went to Freehold Studio Theater in Seattle. Oh, it's a great place. And so I'm like, okay, I know how to put a show on. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just so I put that together, and then we start selling out every show. And I was like, wow, people really want to come see the show. Not just Asians, but white people too.
Yeah.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I just kept going, and it's really a great platform to provide for up-and-coming and established Asian American comedians to have a voice, to shine, to share their experiences. So it's been really like life-changing for me to not just go for my own comedy, but also, with my peers, we all come up together. And,
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so that is just one example of the ways in which you champion rising AAPI stars in comedy, and also you're raising funds from your shows and festivals. So talk to us about how important it is for you to do this. Why is it something, on top of the very difficult career of being a comedian, something that you chose to tackle?
I just feel like such a strong need, like with all the Asian hate that happened during the pandemic too. I feel like our voices need to be heard. We are Americans too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel I feel like Chinatown Service Center, we donated funds to them. And also Seniors Fight Back. They give free workshops to seniors to defend themselves. And Chinatown Service Center in LA, they actually help with like financial services, mental health. It's not just for Chinese people or Asians, they're like the whole community. Our event partner, OCA Greater Seattle, for my taping, they unite Asian voices and they help with like the rice walk in Seattle, and like the Chinatown district cleaning. So I just feel like they're doing such great work. The least I could do to champion Asian voices is to use the comedy as a tool to give back.
Yeah.
So that's why I started doing
Does that feel really good?
Oh yeah, it feels great.
Yeah. And now you're up here in Seattle in the Tacoma area. 5 shows, 4 nights. You already got started last night, right?
Yeah, at Unexpected Productions by the Wall of Gum.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
We've been to a show there.
The people were laughing so hard, and I was like, wow, the Asian people laugh really loud too now. not just how we. Growing up, we're like, but they were like, ha ha. I was like, wow.
That felt good.
It felt so good. Like Seattle, yes. Yeah.
Give us a rundown of where else. Yeah, you're going.
Tonight we're at Shanghai Room. It's our first time doing a show up more north, but it's going to be really fun. It's at 7, and then Saturday we're at Tacoma for the very first time. So they really wanted us there, but they had the schedule all packed. So they're like, let's do a matinee 1 p.m. show.
Oh.
So yes, but it's 21 and up, so don't bring your kids.
Please don't bring your kids.
But you can drink it there. And it's a beautiful ballroom, the Spanish ballroom.
That's great.
Menemans. And then 7 p.m. we're doing 2 shows tomorrow night at Underbelly. It's a little this underground lounge bar in in Pioneer Square.
Oh,
It'll be
cool.
my first time there, but it's really really fun, and it gets intimate. We can roast all the audience, so come and get roasted. We're really good at that.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I'm taping my 1-hour special at Capitol Comedy Bar. That place is beautiful.
So that has to feel like such a full circle moment, okay? And the comedy special is called "Don't Get Sick and Die."
Yes, good. Don't get sick and die. That's what my mom tells me.
So what can people expect from the show?
It's my journey from being an immigrant from Hong Kong to Bothell. Going after my dreams of becoming an actress, motherhood.
Yeah.
I have a 7-year-old terrorist. He's very cute. And just relationships and just my experience, my observations, being an Asian woman, being a woman.
Yeah.
Right? And I do mention about things that happened to me. Like I don't call it Asian hate. I just call it they're learning, right? And I poke
Very
fun
positive,
at it.
very positive.
Yes, I poke fun at it, and I let you laugh at it, laugh at things that happen to me, and share it. And I think that's the connection. That Asian, Caucasian, it doesn't matter. Black, Mexicans, brown. We're all united with laughter.
Yes.
Right? We all relate to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned you like doing crowd work.
Yes.
How do you decide who you're going to roast in the audience?
Oh, very good. Yeah.
If I see you in the audience with this beautiful, bright dress, I'll be like, hey!
Uh-oh. 'Cause I never want to get called on at a comedy show.
What?
I'm always like sitting in the back, keeping it low key. I would be so embarrassed.
You should be in the front row. Last night there was a mama. She came just to see me like in the front row. Her legs were like, she's like, I'm a mom. I was like, wow. I was like, 1-year-old baby. I was like, thank you so much for coming. And I just making fun of her. I was like, she looks kind of ethnically ambiguous. She's like, I'm not Asian. I'm black and white. I was like, oh, and I just have fun, and then they love it. Because I think the new wave of comedy, people want to connect. They want to be called out. They want to be roasted. And it makes them have like a shine on the stage, even though they're just sitting. You know what I mean?
So I have to know, because you have such a connection with the community, are there any other Asian comedians, Asian American comedians that we should really be looking out for here?
Oh yeah, so last night we had Suba Agawa. She just filmed her 1-hour special with Comedy Dynamics. She's Indian American. She's phenomenal. So funny. And tonight we have Sura. She comes from New York. She's been on BuzzFeed. She opened for Donnell Rawlings and Jeff Ross. So funny. Like, you look at her, it's like, and then it's like, bam, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Koo, He does musical comedy. It's like interactive. He always closes out the shows. He's hilarious. He's like the single king, he calls himself.
Oh.
Single king. Yeah, and Nishi XL, she's also a mom. But she has a special on Peacock. Very funny. I just love having all these different diversity of Asians and voices in one show, and you get to see all of us in one night.
That sounds like so much fun. Before we let you go, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned with your journey, your comedy journey?
Not to be too critical, like especially my upbringing as Asian. When I get off set, everyone's like, so great, so funny. I'm like, I could do this better, do that better. But it's like, you doing great. You encouraging me.
And you are doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm taking it all in. So that's the biggest, that's how you can grow instead of like, we have that mentality, you give yourself some pressure, you criticize, then you can stretch. I don't believe in that anymore.
Yeah.
It's more like, you're doing great. You every step, every move, every joke, you're getting better. You know, getting funnier. And then you feel great, and then you can be in the moment with the audience.
Pat yourself on the back a little.
Kiki, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been amazing, and we posted more information on all of your fantastic shows up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. This was great.
Yeah. Come see us next time you're in town.
Yes, come to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, and also there's a code, Fox13. You guys get a discount.
Oh, a discount.
Yes, Fox 13.
That's so great. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we're learning how to make some poached Alaskan halibut snow crab bisque with Mana Restaurant. Plus, we're giving you a look at a new boutique hotel in downtown Leavenworth.
But first, do you always pick up after your dog? Well, a new study looked into how many people do not. And we are sharing the details right after the break.
So there's this new study that looked at how many people actually pick up their dog's poop when they're on a walk. Do you pick up?
Always.
Yeah, same, okay? Not the case for everybody, though. In fact, 1 in 3 people say that they frequently don't pick up their dog's droppings, and 14% say they never do. Another third of people would be more likely to just leave it behind if they were walking in a rural area. That really stinks, though. I gotta say, I would be consumed with like absolute guilt if I just left it there. And in fact, I know this has to have happened to you too. Like the dog goes more than you expected and you're out of bags.
Yep.
I will finish the walk and then drive myself back to pick it up.
Yeah.
I can't just leave it there.
Yeah. Go home, get another bag, come out and get it. The only time I wouldn't is like after my dog goes, and there's like still like a little dingle hanging out on there, and then we're walking and running, and then it falls off or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Why are we talking about this on TV? You know, if you have a dog, you have been there.
Oh my gosh.
That is the only time. But otherwise, it's a shared space. It's a shared city.
Yeah.
Let's keep our grass and the streets clean, okay?
Made me like cry laughing, Carly. Oh my God.
All right, next story. A 21-year-old home from college for the summer is sparking controversy. He says that his parents and siblings won't stop barging into his room. And after asking them to stop and them not stopping, he installed his own doorknob with a lock, taking matters into his own hands. Some say that his family should respect his privacy. Others say they probably just miss him. What do you think?
What a strange problem. I mean, I would say it's a tough thing because you're in your parents' home. That's not your house, okay? But you are an adult. So, I mean, to me, the family should just respect his need for privacy and knock.
Yeah. Also, like, you're going to miss these days of your siblings being young and being excited to see you when you come home. You know, I'm the oldest child, and, you know, I remember the first time I came home, everyone was like, you're back. We're so excited to see you. And then eventually everybody grows up and everybody moves out of the house if you have younger siblings and, you know, starts their own families, and it's quieter, or it's like you don't all get together in the same house very often. So as annoyed as he sounds like he is, I would say just try to enjoy it, because you're not going to get to all be together with your family like this as often as you get older.
True. That's really good perspective. All right. Well, speaking of family craziness here, parents, I know it can seem like your kids are always on their screens or asking for more screen time. My goodness. But this next story is a little bit surprising, okay? You're getting called out because it turns out 60% of parents, okay, they're spending more time on their phones than they are with their kids. Uh-oh, finger wag for you. A new study says that parents spend 5 hours a day on their phones, you know, on average, compared to the 4 hours they spend doing activities with the kids. About 80% of parents have 3 devices or more in the house. That one stings.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, I obviously not defending parents spending more time on their phones than with their kids, right? It's like, you know, I'm not saying that. But we do use our phones for so much these days.
Sure.
Like personally, I keep notes on my phones. I keep lists for when I go to the store. I keep lists of things that I need to order. Your Google Maps hours, if you're navigating the car around, that counts toward your screen time. So it might just not be a parent like sitting there on their phone all day.
Right.
It might be them, you know, being with their kid, and maybe they were keeping a paper list before, but instead they're like writing it in their phone right now.
Possibly. I will say this. So as a parent of a young child, it's a very overwhelming. And I think nowadays a lot of people use their phones to do what's called disassociating. Like when you're super stressed, that you just kind of want to zone out. And I think that happens in some cases. So if you think that's your situation, I mean, I'm no professional, but like, maybe think about other ways we can de-stress if you think that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's talk about jobs here, because we've heard of quiet quitting, but HR professionals are warning of this new trend that is called loud quitting, and it can hurt your reputation. So a new report says that 1 in 5 workers are loud quitting their jobs. Now, loud quitting is when people publicly announce their departures on social media, but experts say that doing this may lead to a bad first impression from future employers, which may potentially hurt their view of you before you even get lined up for an interview.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of not putting stuff like that out there on social media, because you know if a potential employer is deciding between you and another person, they're going to do their research on you, and they're going to be like checking out your social media, just like a quick check. But if they come across, you know, maybe a post that was written in anger or something like that,
oh boy,
that's going to be part of what makes their first impression of you. So I think it's not a good idea. Even if you feel like you have a lot to say, just talk to your good friends or your family, but don't put that all out there on the internet, because once something's on the internet, it's kind of there forever.
It's there. You don't want that coming back. You know, like Facebook memories. Sometimes I'll see those about myself, and I'm like, ugh, who was that person? It was me. You know,
it's me. Hi,
I'm the problem. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I don't love that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So cooking can certainly be a way to de-stress for some people. It could be fun to try out new things, but a new study says Americans are too scared to cook in their own kitchens. I think I know about this, okay? Most of them say that they are just feeling overwhelmed because recipes tend to have a lot of steps and ingredients. That can be frustrating. Or maybe they wanted to try something a little different, something international, but that becomes too stressful too. So some of people's favorite international dishes specifically that they love to eat generally, but they're afraid to make at home from scratch, are beef Wellington, which I know is super hard to make, sushi, and pad thai. Now, those are all things I absolutely love, but also I've never made that at home.
Yeah.
I do know that you like to try out a new recipe every now and then.
I do, yeah.
Is it stressful or?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it takes a lot of preparation, right? Especially if you're making an international recipe. There's often a lot of ingredients that you don't have before, like curry powder or different, you know, sauces or spices or things like that.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, you know, I was in my little hometown and we didn't have a lot of international food, and I do love eating like pad thai and Vietnamese and Chinese and all these different types of foods. That my friends and I, we had this virtual cooking club. So it was 4 of us. We were in 4 different cities every single week. We met and we would decide on a recipe and make a new one. So we made everything from like curries to summer rolls to like all kinds of stuff that I would normally only order at a restaurant. So now I haven't kept up on it as good because now we're back to normal life and I have a lot going on here. But it's nice because I understand like what goes into foods and what makes food taste good in some ways, you know? So it's nice if you just set aside a little time and set aside time to prepare all the ingredients and gather what you need, right? All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, we are giving you a look inside the newly renovated Hotel Leavenworth. Plus, Mana Restaurant is showing us how to make their snow crab bisque and cherry mousse desserts.
And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it on our cute little website there, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live. So 2 hours east of Seattle, nestled in the beautiful Cascade Mountains, lies the town of Leavenworth, Bavarian-style town, very cute. Today, we're bringing a little piece of that here to Studio 13 Live and a look at a new boutique hotel and one of their unique farm-to-table restaurants.
Yeah, for that we are joined by Lucas Samania with Mana Restaurant and Rob Aarons with Hotel Leavenworth. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
for
having
being here. Thanks for making the trek over here. I'm glad you stayed overnight last night. You didn't have to drive super early this morning, right?
Yes.
That's the pro move right there. Lucas, kind of tell us what inspired your restaurant in Leavenworth and how did your lifestyle impact that decision to open it?
Yeah, so my wife and I were living in Germany at the time, actually. Oh, cool. And then we decided to come back to Wenatchee, where my family has kind of like a small vineyard there, to help them out. Recently after, I learned about Mana Restaurant, heard that it was a very, very cool place to work, and decided to go there.
Great.
Oh, that is amazing. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Mana, the restaurant, and the type of food people can find there.
Yes, it's a very international cuisine. My family comes from Germany, Argentina, Brazil, all over the world.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspires us, especially the forage ingredients that the area has to offer, like these chanterelles and also the small farms as well.
Okay, cool. So what are we making today and what ingredients are we using?
Yeah, so we have a delicious, it's a tomato bisque here with some crab shell in it, actually. And we're poaching a halibut inside there. The halibut's been poaching for just about 2 minutes, so it's probably at its final touches there, with a little bit of a daikon, some mushrooms. We have a vegan dish as well today. Yeah, it has some nice mushrooms in there as well. It's the rainbow chanterelle. So.
Ooh, and chanterelle, that's a mushroom. Who picked that mushroom?
My friend Nathan did, actually, so he's a
Shout out,
wonderful-
Nathan.
Talk about farm to table.
Yes, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so while you keep working on the finishing touches here, Rob, I'm going to ask you about, you recently opened Hotel Leavenworth in the heart of downtown. So walk us through what that property is like inside. I've seen pictures. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, we really went with an alpine feel, kind of to go with the mountains and the scene that we're in Leavenworth. We have 16 rooms. We're the newest boutique hotel in Leavenworth. We just reopened in May. Completely redid everything, spent almost 200 hours per room to get it ready.
Wow, that is a lot of time and love. And Christmas time's always so beautiful there, and I'm sure it's very busy too. How early should people be looking to book their stay there, and who would you say it's best for too?
It's best for everybody. We get tons of families, we get couples. People come from all over the world. That was one of the big surprises last year. We had probably 25% of the people were local, and people came from Asia, came from Europe, came from all over America. They actually start booking a year at least in advance.
Whoa.
We still have plenty of rooms available, but the earlier the better, always.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm living my
So
life 1 week at a time.
I know.
Start planning.
I have to say, this is just so perfect because coincidentally, I lived in Germany with my husband for a short time, and we've been trying to get that feeling back, and I'm getting it here at the hotel. So tell us a little bit about some of the hidden gems and things that people can do in Leavenworth.
Yeah, Leavenworth really revolves around the area that it's in. So we've got the mountains, we've got the river, we've got the downtown area. So if you're going to the mountains, it's great for camping, hiking, and in the winter skiing. The river in the summer is great for tubing. You can also go stand-up paddleboarding or rafting. And then the city's great. You can go shopping all day long, drinks in the afternoon and evening. And then there's great restaurants like Mana as well.
Beautiful. So how's the bisque coming?
Good. I think we're about finished here. I'm just going to take out the fish here, and then we can get ready to plate and pour as well.
Wonderful. I'm always so impressed by soups because I feel like they require so many steps. So I love to go to a restaurant for a nice meal.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Look at this.
yeah, here's just a little bit of a roasted daikon with some purple Napa cabbage from a farm called the Maverick Farm.
Remind people what daikon is.
Yeah, it's a larger root vegetable, and it's a little bit spicy. It has a very crisp flavor to it, and yeah, naturally delicious. So,
Wonderful.
and then yes, so we have this awesome tomato crab bisque, and the halibut and the crab are from our friends at Wild Pacific Foods. His name's Lawton. Very delicious seafoods that he supplies.
Wonderful. Don't you love that he has like the names of the people? I think that makes it so special.
Yeah, you've
Then
got
we're
good
just
friends
gonna-
that help you out, huh?
Yes. So we're just going to plate that here. and then take some of this awesome, it's a mixture of wakame, a little bit of some micro herbs as well, cilantro plus some basil.
And little flowers?
Flowers, yeah, that's the cilantro flower there.
Oh, I
So we're
didn't
gonna
know it had a
put that
flower.
on
Me
there,
either.
there. Yeah,
Wonderful.
and that's from the Campo farm as well. So.
Beautiful. Are we good to give it a
Yeah,
little
this
try?
is ready to go actually.
All
Yeah,
right, here
so
we go.
that's it there.
And I love that you have something for us meat eaters and something for vegan friends as well.
Ooh, this is so good. I highly recommend ordering this. So many different textures and yummy flavors in this.
Wow, this is amazing.
Also, when there's flowers on your food, I mean, how can you go wrong there?
You cannot. Oh my gosh.
You also brought us dessert to try.
Yes, but before dessert, we have a little bit of a palate cleanser.
Okay.
It's a freshly made cucumber verjus as well. This is it's a nice refresher.
my gosh,
This is really
there.
good.
Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you said a verjus is what?
A verjus, actually, we have some green grapes to try here as well. It's from our family's vineyard. It's essentially just a freshly squeezed green grape juice. So it's very tart, actually. So right now is the perfect time to harvest these green grapes before they're ripe, actually.
Awesome.
So.
All right, we got to jump into the dessert, okay?
The dessert. You two are actually going to scoop the sorbet onto these two desserts there.
Okay.
So it's ready
Where
to go.
should we put it?
Just right on top of the
top?
huckleberries as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Probably not as pretty of a scoop as you would do.
I know.
Oh, that's
I'm not
beautiful.
a professional
That's-
plater.
Oh, I like knock down the
It's
flour
earthy.
and everything. Don't hire me for your restaurant. All
We're gonna
right,
try it now?
awesome.
Yeah.
We good? All
Okay.
right.
Oh, there's
Describe it to us as we're. Oh,
There's a final touch here. There's
Okay.
a little bit of a chocolate
Chocolate.
sauce that you have to get on
Drizzle?
top. That's yes.
A drizzle, a drizzle.
Okay.
Okay, here you go.
thank you. So
All right,
fun.
I'm gonna just like
Yeah.
snag a
Let's do
bite
it.
here.
This is the. I almost don't want to ruin this beautiful dessert right here. Okay.
Wow. What a way to start a Friday. Thank you so much.
good.
This is great.
This is fantastic. Wow. Gonna
Delicious.
Come see ya.
I know. Thank you both for coming to join us today. This has been fabulous. And remember, Leavenworth, always a good time.
Yeah. We'll see you Monday. Have the best weekend ever. Enjoy the sunshine.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait.